5 persons have been injured and 3 others also arrested following a police clash with residents of Behenase over the detention of a police officer there. The officer was detained by the residents during after an operation to arrest residents of the area. He was part of a group of police officers who had stormed the area to cause the arrest of that resident. We'll go live to the area to get more details from Love FM's Kwesi Deborah, who is in the community. But first, listen to a residents of the area on their side of the story.
We have a brother who owns a local kiosk. At about 4 p.m., we were going about our duties when 6 police personnel suddenly arrived in a taxi and a private car. They arrested our brother, but failed to give us explanation for the arrest. Our brother initially resisted. But they eventually forced him into the car and sped off, leaving 2 other officers behind. They also held on to the other officers and asked them to explain the reason for the arrest before they released them. At about 7 p.m., the police came there in their numbers, demanding the release of the police officers who were detained by the civilians. There was a scuffle and they fired gunshots, hitting 5 of our colleagues, who are now on admission at the hospital. The police further proceeded to arrest the people, and up till now, they have not been released.
About 12:30 to 1. Stay.
Let's get on the phone now and speak to Kwesi Deborah, who's been following this story for us. Hello, Kwesi.
Yes.
Well, we've heard from the residents that their narration is that the police was there to arrest the residents there, who they're calling their brother, but they don't give them any explanation. Do we know why the police went there to effect this arrest?
Yes, we went to the divisional commander, the required divisional commander, and we spoke with the crime officer, but he couldn't speak on record because he says everything has now been handed over to the regional command. And what he told us that one Nana Sante came to make a complaint, and it was based on that one. He couldn't go into details of the complaint, but he told us that he made a complaint. That's why they went there to arrest them. And so when they went, they were faced with fears, as it were, with aggression from the residents. And some, we held their AK-47. That's the police. One of the policemen who went there, they held the AK-47, and so they had to use a bit of force to disperse them. So that's what happened. That's what he told us. He couldn't go much into details.
And the people who say their brother was arrested, do they have any reasons why they thought it was right to keep the police officer once he was left behind?
No, for them, they were using him as of course, your brother has been arrested. So if you want us to release your brother, release ours. You release yours, and so you release ours. So that was the only thing that they had in mind for detaining the police officer.
Right. So, as we speak now, do we know where the police officer is? He's been handed back to he's been released by his colleagues.
He's been released. He's now with the divisional command now, and also we try to find out where the other guys are, as the residents who were arrested, and also they are also still with the command. And also the guys who sustained the injury, they also were with the hospital, with the required hospital, government hospital. So that's what's happening now. They are still there. They've not been released. And so police are trying to conduct investigations into it, so they can arrive at a conclusion, and so that they can prosecute them.
Was the police officer hurt in any way?
No, he wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt. What we were told is that he was really scared because of the aggression that came from the people. So he was detained for about 5 hours, 5 good hours. So he was really scared, but no part of his body was hurt.
How do we know how he finally managed to get in touch with his colleagues, or how his colleagues finally managed to get him released from the community? Yeah,
it was a kind of negotiation. What we were told by residents, and also this was corroborated the police. They told us it was a bit of negotiation. So the district command called them, that's the head of the family, and negotiated with them that should they release the policeman, he's going to release the residents who are in their custody. So that was the terms, and so they released him. But their people are still with the police.
So does it mean that the residents who are arrested have also been released?
No, they've not been released.
They've not been released.
Yeah, they've not been released.
We see in the videos. We see in the videos on the walls what looks like bullet holes.
Yes.
Is that the minimum force the police says they applied?
Yes. When we went there, and you can see from the building, there's evidence on the building that you see so many bullet holes there. And those were the minimal, as the police talked to us, though they couldn't go into details. The minimal force they had to enforce, that they had to exert, so that they could disperse the angry residents. So those shelled bullets, and also were the ones which weren't. We can't really say that the ones which weren't used, whether they got it from the police, because they took the gun, that's the AK-47 from the police officer. The police officer we're talking about here is a sergeant. So they took the AK-47 from him. So we don't know whether it is those ones which weren't used are from the gun, or they were the ones which are in the course of the shooting they dropped. So that's what we can't ascertain for now.
Deborah, thank you for that update. Kwesi Deborah there with sister station Live FM in Kumasi. They're bringing us up to speed on what's happening. We understand that there was a clash between residents of Behenase and police there. We'll bring you development on it as we go along in the week.